website and Facebook page. You guys ready? Is everybody ready? All right. Now remember, guys, before we go into this, I want to really stress this. The reason why I talked about all these verses talking about do not be afraid, have strength in God, be courageous. There is a verse that's in the Old Testament. I love how it keeps coming back to this. It says, be diligent, be courageous. Be strong, and be courageous. It says be courageous so many times, and it drives it home. It says be bold. This is something that a lot of people have lost in their lives. They feel like, I have no strength, I have no drives. Guys, this is your battle. This is your war to fight. Be courageous. Be bold. Don't be bashful about what you believe in anymore. Stop letting the world hold you back. Be the person that God has called you to be. Be courageous. Because you have it in you. You may not feel like it, but you will not know what type of person you are until you make yourself go through the fire, go through the battle, and come out the other side. You're going to be like, that wasn't that bad. I had a huge self-confidence problem when I was younger. When I was your guys' age, I thought that I was the lowest of the low. I put on a brave face a lot of times, but you know what? I felt like crap about myself. I didn't feel like I had it in me. And finally, I just got sick of feeling like this about myself, and I made myself start doing the things that I knew that I was supposed to be doing. The first battle was hard. I had to make myself do what I had. It was difficult. But I got through the other side, and it was like, that wasn't that bad. It reminded me of the first time I went paintballing. I talked to a guy, his name was Mike. He had me scared out of my mind with stories of getting hit, skin breaking open and bleeding everywhere, just bruises everywhere. So painful. He's like, you will get hit in the arm, you will be on your knees crying. You know which one I'm talking about, Mike? Yeah. It was, I remember getting out onto the field and I was shaking, literally shaking. I remember the first time I got hit. That ain't that bad. Pretty soon I was out in the front line. Guys, you think that it's difficult to get started on this stuff. It is not. What will happen when you guys do what I'm talking about here? First thing that's going to happen, probably, I'm not going to say it's guaranteed because I don't know the situation in all these schools. First thing that's going to happen, you're going to have people that think that you're nuts. They're going to look down on you. You're probably going to get called names. People are going to start rumors about you. You may even lose a few friends. Be courageous. Next thing that's going to happen is you're going to have to be diligent. You can write this down. Yeah. Keep a section open for what I'm going to talk about here in a second. Yes? Diligence with a D-I-L, agent. Sound it out and you got it on your notes. Be courageous. But then you're going to have to be diligent. Be consistent. You can write that down too. Be consistent. That is the next thing that you're going to have to do. Be consistent, because what's going to happen is if you guys say, all right, we're going to change the school, and this is going to be great. Man, this is too hard. Never mind. You know what's going to happen? The next time someone tries to start something, they're going to be like, that ain't going to work. Be diligent. Be consistent, because you don't know what rides on your shoulders and who you're going to help. Be consistent. Yes? What she's saying is that you're going to find who your true friends are, right? Is that what you're saying? You're going to find who your true friends are. Because as you stand up for what you believe in, you probably have a group of friends that you're hanging out with right now. I can guarantee there's going to be at least one person that's going to disagree with what you're standing up for. Absolutely. And they're going to say things about you. I'm speaking not only from what the Bible has said, but I'm speaking from experience, guys. By standing up and doing the right thing, people are going to say bad things about you, but you have to be consistent, because what happens through being consistent is your character will be shown, and that lie will be brought to light through your character. They can say whatever they want, but people will know who you are. They will know what you stand for. Sometimes that is true, absolutely. Sometimes we make things a little bit more complicated than they need to be. Sometimes we make difficulties for ourselves that don't need to be there. Everybody remember, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. It's a great rule to live by. KISS. That's where a lot of people get sick of a lot of churches because they make it overly complicated. Guys, the gospel, the word that God has brought to us, the Bible, is actually very simple to understand. It's not complicated. God loves us. How much more simple can it get than that? People are like, well, God's angry at me. Well, why? Well, because I was taught this and this and this, and because I'm living this way. That's not what the Bible says. God doesn't like what you're doing, but He loves you. It's simple. So we're going to get onto our game plan now so I can get this done. Okay, number 1 with the game plan. If you guys write this down, step 1 for the game plan, 2 weeks of recruitment. I know you guys are probably, recruitment? I'll explain this. Write this down, 2 weeks of recruitment. 2 weeks usually averages about 14 days, just in case you guys wonder.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's do this.
2 weeks. Everybody say 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
If you are on board with me on this, I want you to make a mental promise to yourself that you're going to stick with this for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. This is what we need to do. Just like it says in there, go into all the world. Go into all your school. Okay? Because this thing, in the past, I've asked some of you, I'm like, okay, well, what kind of Christians do you have in your school? I don't know any. Now, I can guarantee that there are some Christians in your school. That I can guarantee there's even more people that consider themselves Christians, but just aren't acting like it. Go into all of your school. Find as many of your friends that are on board with taking back your school and making a difference. Then find as many of their friends as you can and talk to them and get them on board with what's going on. You're like, well, what would I talk to them about? Just talk to them, be real, be genuine. Say, you know what? Things are getting worse in schools everywhere. If we don't want our school to get worse, we need to make a difference. Because if you are going to make a difference in your school, it has to be 100% student-led. The school can bring in programs, they can bring in guest speakers, they can bring in anything they want. But until the students rise up and do it themselves, things will not change. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. So 2 weeks. Find as many people that you can and just talk to them and say, we need to help our school. We need to keep it from getting worse and we need to get better. Find as many Christians as you can for this. Talk to as many people because I can guarantee when you're talking about helping your school and helping your friends, Christians and non-Christians will be on board with this idea. Absolutely. I have met, and it's a sad thing, I have met people that don't go to church, they don't believe in God, but they're more willing to help people than most Christians are. Find people that want to help. Number 2, daily prayer before, during, or after school. Now this is the fun thing. This is where you start getting branded and labeled. Have you guys heard of See You at the Pole at all? Now this is the thing, with See You at the Pole, it's a great idea. Once a year, what they do is they get schools all over the nation, they meet together at the same time at the flagpole on the same day, and they pray for their school. It's a great thing, honestly. It's amazing what can happen here. But guys, if you want, go back and look through the numbers and through the history. When they went in and they removed prayer, did you know that it used to be a thing to where you would pray in school? I think it was every single morning. It was every single morning, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. When they had the prayer in school before? I wasn't from that generation. I went through it when it was removed. But they had a thing where they were praying in the schools every single day. And then someone said, you know what? We need to stop forcing this on our kids. So we need to take that out. Do you want to know what happened? All crap broke loose. You can go back and you can look at the numbers and see exactly what happened. You can go back and see when prayer was removed from schools. It wasn't like a, whoa, okay, big solid wall of numbers just going across. This was a thing to where just steady rise of violence in school, teen pregnancies, drug use, alcoholism, bullying, all this stuff. Steady rise. So this is why I'm saying this. You know what? 2 weeks of recruitment, even though I had that as step number 1, This is just setting the groundwork for what's going to be happening in the future. This is the most important thing. If you guys walk away with anything tonight, this is the thing that I want you to do no matter what. If you're serious about this, even if it is just you, all by yourself. Now, yeah, every single person in this room has to ask yourself, are you courageous enough? Are you brave enough to do that? To stand in front of the entire school and openly pray. Ask yourself, are you able to do that? In my mind, yes. But it's going to take you making a decision to follow through with that. Be consistent. Daily prayer. If you want, start with a weekly, but get it to a daily. The schools need it, guys. The schools need it. And what this 2 week of recruitment, what that is for, is to get people on board, because this whole series that I've been doing, the power of one. One can make a difference. Two is the beginning of a movement. If you guys understand this, you can change your school. One can make a difference. Don't take me wrong in this. One is incredibly important, but two is the start of a movement. This is why I'm saying 2 weeks, dedicate yourself to finding people that are wanting to help their schools. Then daily prayer comes with that. Start it as soon as you can. Get a time set, meet in the classroom. You'll just ask the teachers, hey, is there a classroom that we can use? Before school or after school? Is there some place that we can meet during lunch to where we can pray? They have no right to say no to you. You have full access to your school, and if they're turning you down, saying that you have no right to do that because it's a religious activity, by the law, there are lawful precedents for this, where I can get you the articles that say you have every single right to do that in your school. Every single right. Then number 3, start student-led Bible studies or support groups. Now I say Bible studies, honestly, if I'm in your shoes, I would not call them Bible studies. Because honestly, in your generation, even when I was younger, I've been a Christian my whole life. If someone asked me if I wanted to go to a Bible study, like, no thanks. I mean, it sounds just like, even though that's exactly what you're going to be doing. You're going to be studying the Bible. You're going to be learning about what God's promises are for you. That's exactly what you're doing. But it just puts people on edge. It's got a bad taste in some people's mouths. So you know what? Be creative with it. But hey, you know what? We're going to have a crazy ninja group. We're going to yeah! Be creative with it, guys. Make it your own. And then the support groups. The support groups, guys, these are incredibly important, okay? Right now, and this is the cool thing, the principal of Shepherd High School just recently watched the movie To Save a Life. I'll take your question in a second. They watched the movie To Save a Life. That's an amazing movie. Then what he did is he got the movie to the superintendent, and she's going to watch it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do everything that I can to set up a time where we have To Save a Life as a after-school viewing made freely available to the Shepherd students. What's that? Well, with the context of it, we cannot do it during school hours, but we can do it right afterwards. We're going to do this. Do it in math class? Okay, I'll do what I can.
I'll give up.
But, hey guys, follow with me just a second. In this movie, what they do is they have a group of Christians that get together at lunch every single day. And then they start helping people that are going through difficult times. You need to get a group of solid friends that is basically just patrolling your school, looking for people to help. This is going to be the biggest, guys, listen to me, the biggest step to us heading off suicide in our schools and heading it off and getting to this point is by you guys actively helping your fellow students. Actively helping your friends. No more sitting around just browsing around on Facebook waiting for somebody to get to the point where they're so lonely, so frustrated that they post online saying, I've had enough. Don't let it get to that point. Be looking for the social outcast, the one that has no friends. Be looking for the one that is continually happy. Be genuine with them, because I can guarantee that a lot of the ones that are If you get to know them, you will find out that they're dealing with some crap. Either that or just on some really good pills. But you know what? Can you take that risk? Honestly, can you take that risk with their life? Of just assuming they're happy, they're smiling, they're okay, let's go find somebody else. And I do want to say this, guys, it is going to be, once this is started, it is going to be 100% about duplication. It is going to be a thing to where it starts with a few, but you need to have the drive and consistency to make sure it grows from there. Because, you know, if it's like a group of 5 people, that's awesome. You can start a movement in your school that way. But unless it keeps growing, chances are you're not going to be able to have the personal connections with each and every single person. You know, it's like on Wednesday nights, you know what? I'm one person. Can you guys count? 1.
No.
Now, and I do my best. I do my best to say hello and talk to as many of you as possible. But I just as an example right here, how many of you had a conversation with me tonight? How many of you had talked to me tonight? Okay? How many of you have not had a personal conversation with me tonight? Okay? Do you guys see how many hands are up? Okay? I am not trying to be a jerk. I'm not trying to shun anybody. But I'm one person. I know that I have limits. You see these other people sitting around here, our helpers? They're here for the same reason I am. They're of no less importance than me. The only difference is that I get up here and I get to tell some poop jokes. That is the only difference. This is going to be the same thing in the schools, guys. You might have the passion, you might have the courage, but unless you share that and show others how to follow through and do what you're doing, it won't do what needs to be done. So that's why we need to start the support groups. Number 4 is, do you have a question? Personal question? You want to do what? Okay, is it okay for you to ask me right after the service? Just like I'll get this done and I'll. You want to do something every Wednesday here? Okay. Well, okay. I'll talk to you right afterwards and we'll see what's going on. Number 4. This is something that I'm incredibly excited about. Ignite Campus Ministries. Guys, okay, this is something that's... 4's your lucky number? Awesome, mine's 7. Yeah, that's funny. Guys, this youth ministry is my passion. This is my life's passion. You guys, I have had a passion for youth ministry since I was old enough to be considered a teenager, basically. It's like I knew I was hooked as soon as I got in here. This is something that I plan on doing for years. I was just talking to my dad the other day about my plans for the future and what I'm wanting to do and different things where I'm moving forward. And I said, I'll be happy as long as I can remain in youth ministry. That's all I ask. I want to stay here. But the thing is that what we have here is incredible. But do you guys know anybody that would like to come here but can't because they don't have a ride? They don't have transportation. Now, here's the thing. We could invest thousands of dollars into transportation, which we might do that for a few of the closer schools at first. We might get to that point. I visited a church where they have a huge bus ministry. I mean, they've got probably 10 to 12 buses that go out to different areas to bring teenagers in. I can see us doing that in the future. But honestly, I think that a better investment of our time and resource would be giving you guys the resources and the tools to be able to start Ignite Youth Ministries in your schools, in your homes, with your friends. This is the awesome thing about this, is that, we have like for Vestaburg, there's probably a lot of people that would like to come to Ignite on Wednesday, but just can't be. Because you have your one vehicle. I mean, it could be a clown car. We could just shove them in there as tight as we can. But we want to be safe about it. So imagine this, guys. In what you're doing in Vestaburg here, getting a group of teenagers that are on board with taking back your school and making a difference there. Let's just say that you get a significant group going and you would like to get together on a regular basis and do something. So like in an after-school thing, what we do is we have a video and resources, the study guide basically, we make available to you. It'll be available on the website. We can get a DVD to you guys. And all you guys do is you get a classroom, you set up a screen, you push play, then you follow what's on the list. Basically, a smaller version of what we do here on Wednesdays, every week in Vestaburg. Same thing for Shepherd. I know you guys are a little bit closer. Same thing for Shepherd. We can even do the same thing in Mount Pleasant. If you guys wanted to do something like that. I know we used to have a ton that, we're talking about doing this in Greenville. Where's Dominic? There's Dominic in here. Dominic over here. Where are you from, Dominic?
From Germany.
From Germany. Is that a little distance away from here?
A little bit, about 14 hours.
About 14 hours flight?
Yeah.
Can you guys say Ignite International? Guys, the first 3 steps of what I went through, these are guaranteed things that we need to do right now. Number 4 is something that I shared with you guys as a goal, something for us to aim for in the future. Because do you know how many people we could help if we set up something to where they could just come in, if they wanted to, after school, and experience what you guys experience here on Wednesdays? That would be nice. Do you know how many people we could help making this available? Tons. And this would be you guys putting it on. I'd make the resources available. I'd make it as easy as I can. But it's you guys helping your friends, making a difference in your school. That's the key. Whose responsibility is it to help your schools? Now, I didn't believe that. I don't think that you guys completely buy into that. Whose responsibility is it? Matt, did you buy that?
I didn't buy it.
It's terrible. I mean, I'm just going to pack up and go home. Whose responsibility is it to help your school? It's Thomas's over here. Guys, ask yourself, are you ready for this? I got one. One. Are you guys ready for this? Yeah! So this is what I want. The next 2 weeks, what are you guys going to be doing? This. You guys are going to be finding as many friends as possible to get on board with this. And this is the thing. I am not going to be asking you guys, I'm like, for the next 2 weeks, please get as many of your friends to come to Ignite. This is a start, okay? This is where the fire started. But the important thing is that you guys are going to take what you're learning here, the passion that you guys have here, you're going to take it back into your schools. Because if it stays a Wednesday night thing, the schools will not get better. So I am not going to say for the next 2 weeks, ask as many of your friends to come with you to Ignite. That is not my goal. I do not want that right now. If we have a huge influx of people coming on Wednesday nights, I'm going to smack some people and say, you don't have the point! Get as many of your friends on board and start praying for your school together every day. Start support groups in your school to help your friends. Find the ones that are hurting every single day. Do not let one day go by to where you do not go introduce yourself to somebody that you don't talk to normally and see if they're doing okay. Start a relationship. Build a friendship. Make sure that you're there for them. Genuinely. Not just on Facebook, not just over texting. Face-to-face communication. Not Skype either. Come on. Loophole. Guys, I'm excited about this, and I've gone over my time, so I'm going to close. But guys, remember, 2 weeks of recruitment, daily prayer in the school, start student-led Bible and support groups in your schools, all right? And then we'll get to number 4 when we get to number 4, all right? Thank you guys for coming tonight. We'll see you guys next week.